If all this talk about recession is freaking you out a little bit, making you a little bit nervous, but you're also kind of sick of it, you're in the right place. Good morning. Welcome to Business Breakfast in Bedhead. I'm so excited to be here with you live this morning. And if you didn't know, these go on to the Anxious Creative Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. So even if you miss some of this, I've got you covered. Okay, so let me tell you a story before we get right into this, because this is a hot topic and something that we need to talk about and something that we need to cover. And I want to make sure, hi, I was waiting. I want to make sure that we know it. And first things first, before I share this story with you, I want to let you guys know that this is a safe space and a judgment-free zone. And I want you guys to be able to show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable. I don't want to be someone talking on a screen at you. I want to be talking with you this morning. Good morning and good morning. So if you can just give me a yes in the comments that you're committed to this being a judgment-free zone where we can show up real, raw, honest, and vulnerable together, can you just put a yes in the comments? Because that shows not only everyone else in the room that you're a safe person to be around, but it also shows yourself and your future self that you're the person that you want to be and that you're becoming and that you're safe to be around. You can kick that inner mean girl to the curb. I don't know if you guys can hear. Oh, I don't even know if you guys could hear that on Facebook over there. Okay, so this recession talk that's going on in the beauty industry that's scaring a lot of people. It's also making people a lot of really sick of it. I want to talk about it this morning, but before I do, I want to get into a story. So I've been in the industry since 2001, and in 2008, we all know that there was another recession that happened. And I remember our distributor or our supplier coming to the salon and being like, don't freak out. Recessions actually for the beauty industry is one of the best things, or the beauty industry, not best things, but the beauty industry actually thrives in recession. And they talked about the lipstick theory. And I had never heard of it before. And maybe you've heard of it before, but I'm going to get into it for a second. They said during recessions, what tends to happen is people start to tighten up their money. People start to save initially. And I know that's what a lot of you guys are feeling right now is people aren't wanting to spend as much money. People won't. Oh, thanks, Emily. People are pulling back and it's making you scared and nervous, like, oh, clients aren't going to be spending. And then you put that fear out there. So in 2008, we started to see like people stopping booking as much. And our sales rep came and said, don't worry. People initially, when the talk of recession comes, people stop spending. But what happens during a recession is people aren't going on the big fancy vacations. People aren't buying the yachts, aren't buying the new car, aren't buying the new house, aren't buying the cottage. Like big purchases people aren't doing. But what tends to happen during a recession is people still want to have that feeling of luxury. And so I really want to reset and reframe your mindset right now around it. Hello, good morning. As you guys pop on, just put your name where you're tuning in from, because I want to make sure that you guys all feel seen, heard, and valued in here. Know that I appreciate each and every one of you being on here live with me, and I want to build a community in here. Really, I'm on a mission because I really believe, I need you guys to know this. I believe every single hairstylist and beauty professional and service professional can be and will be and should be making a minimum 6 figures. And I'm on a mission to make that happen. If you guys are with me to make that happen, and that's why I go live, and that's why I'm sharing this today, because a lot of you guys are nervous about this recession and you're seeing maybe clients pull back. And we're going to go a little bit more into that in a second here. But I want you to know that yes, people might pull back, but there are ways that you can actually promote your business. Don't let that get in your way. You're letting your fear get into the driver's seat of your life and your business. And it's not a good place and it's not a good look on you, letting fear drive your business. I get that you're allowed to feel your feelings and your feelings are valid. I want you guys to know that your feelings are valid and your feelings are real. But that moment that fear comes up, go, okay, something's changing. Life changes. Business changes. Shit happens. So even if this recession is very real and is going to happen and people start pulling back, just because you just roll with it. Learn to start rolling with things. And I'm saying this to myself too, is we need to start learning to roll with things. So people started in 2008, people stopped booking as much and we had to think, okay, what can we do? What we were doing before isn't going to carry us into what's going to happen next. It doesn't mean we have to throw our hands up in the air and go, well, clearly we're going to go out of business. You need to adapt. You need to learn to adapt. Adaptability. And I know for lots of us neurodivergent brains, change is hard. But just because it's hard doesn't mean it's not worth it. Stop thinking that change is bad. Stop thinking that change is too scary. Change is an opportunity for excitement of something new. What if this recession was the best thing that ever happened to your business? Imagine that. Imagine just for a second, even just like close your eyes. Imagine for a second if this recession was the best thing that ever happened to your business. How does that make you feel? Remove that fear and that anxiety of like things are changing. Things changing just shows you that you need to change as well. So in 2008, when the recession hit and people started pulling back their appointments, our sales rep said to us, the lipstick factor. People are willing to spend more on small luxuries. So maybe you offer high-end service. I know we've got lots of different people here. Maybe you offer a high-end service. Maybe you offer higher end things. How can you adapt and evolve to what your clients are looking for and needing? People aren't going on the big vacation. Maybe people aren't getting the full head of highlights. Maybe people aren't getting this. How can you offer small luxuries to them? I want you to stop getting so stubborn, says the Taurus. Stop being so stubborn and set in your ways of like, well, this is the way I do things. Well, clearly it's not going to take you into the next chapter. So if stuff is shifting and changing, the only difference now is the instant gratification spell that didn't exist in '08. Tell me more, Britt. Tell me more. Mini sessions. Yeah. I want you guys to know that when I started doing higher end services, now this is out of a recession, but I started being a higher price point that was out of a lot of people's budgets. I worked with my clients. I said, look, to get you to where you want to go, it's going to be this much, but to maintain it is going to be a lot different. You have to be willing to adapt to what the environment around you is. And if you have an attitude of adaptability, I will tell you this, you are going to be so freaking successful. Whether you have it now or you want it, put I in the comments. If you want or you already have an attitude of adaptability. You need to start to have an attitude of adaptability instead of going, well, someone told me to do it this way and I'm doing it. It's not working. There's no one right way to do things. Stop getting so in your head about this is the way things have to be done, right? Your business is different than your friend's business, than your sweet mate's business, than the person down the road's business. Yes, I love it. All of this, you guys, I love it. I got to take screenshots of all of you. Having an attitude of adaptability is huge and will set you apart. Because so many people will have success with something. And you've probably seen this happen before. Someone will do something and they'll have huge success and they're riding the wave. And then all of a sudden, stuff changes. And they don't have an attitude of adaptability. They go, well, this always has worked. And then they get this little, well, this always worked. So why isn't it working? You probably talk to, and I always use McDonald's as an example because I love McDonald's. What worked for McDonald's is in the 70s didn't probably work for McDonald's in the 80s and didn't work for McDonald's in the 90s and didn't work for McDonald's in the 2000s. Remember the Got Milk campaign, right? Where it was Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, and everyone had the Got Milk, and we don't see that anywhere. And why aren't they doing that with almond milk and oat milk now? Because that's the way things have shifted, right? Because it was obviously dairy producers that were doing that. But I want you guys to think of how to think of companies, businesses that you've seen explode. The frozen yogurt thing was huge here for a while, and then it just died off. Did they adapt? You need to adapt for you to have success in this recession. And remember, I said, imagine if this recession was the best thing that ever happened to your business. It really can be. I remember in the beginning of 2020 being panicked for our industry. And many of my students had their best year in 2020 than they had ever had previously. Even with or they made the same amount of money, but worked 8 months less that year. Your attitude defines more about how successful you are than the things you do. I feel like Instagram is going from picture to reels was the first time I realized I was not adapting and had to call myself out. Oh, yeah. Right? And learning, regardless of tactics, what's the attitude you bring, right? I grew my first clientele in the first recession. I love that, Shiloh. And so because we all have these moments of being really human, and I want you guys to know that it's okay to be human. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to have moments of holy shit, what's happening? Oh my gosh, everyone's talking about recession. Are we going under? Should I leave the industry? I mean, we all have those moments, whether we want to admit it or not. I want you to take a moment when that happens and go, I love myself and my feelings are valid. Thank you, feelings, for coming up to try to protect me. I've got this. You can step aside. I'm going to get through this and I'm going to thrive in this. I'm going to choose to have an attitude of adaptability, and I'm going to choose to have a spirit of excitement and curiosity in this. I'm going to try new things. I'm going to look at things from a different angle, and I'm going to stop getting in my own way with the little things. Because I can tell you this, so many of my students that are in Rock Your Business, and if you guys don't know about Rock Your Business, hey, Victoria, if you don't know about Rock Your Business, it's going to be opening up for enrollment on the 27th, and it's going to be so freaking bomb. I am looking to bring in hairstylists and beauty professionals that are ready to make six figures. Like I said, I am on a mission to make sure that every single hairstylist, beauty professional has the opportunity and has it set up in front of them to make six figures, because I believe every hairstylist and every beauty professional should be, can be, will be making six figures. If all it takes is taking the step towards it. And so I'm looking for anybody that wants to come into Rock Your Business when it opens up, who's ready for that, who knows that you don't know the way to it, but you're ready to have that attitude of adaptability. You're ready to be able to try new things. Boy, I feel called out, Crystal says. So if anybody's ready to be that, just give me a me in the comments. I mean, there's no obligation or expectation to join the program, but those are the people I'm looking for to be part of it. That people maybe that you haven't been there before, maybe you haven't gotten there before, but you want to, you believe in this mission that I'm on. I want every single hairstylist and beauty professional to be able and have the opportunity to make six figures. And the thing is that so many, yes, Sarah's like, hands up in the air. And so it starts with us getting out of our own freaking way. You have to get out of your own way. And what I'm talking about is letting your insecurities, well, I'm just too shy, or I don't like talking to strangers. Okay. And you can keep doing that. And I'm not saying that's the only way to do it. I'm just like using an example here. But if you're going to, best decision I ever made. Oh, and dog groomers, service providers, really. If you're going to always be like, well, that doesn't work for me. If you're going to have an attitude of like, well, I knew that already, then you're not having an attitude of adaptability and you're not being open to change. There's a lot of things that I know that when I'm reminded of them, I'm like, oh my God, yes. Or when I'm motivated with them by the right person, I'm like, yes. Or when I'm in the right community. This recession and this time that we're in right now, where we're scrolling on our phones so much, we need community and accountability more than ever. There's no pride in getting it done and getting to the finish line on your own. Like, whoop-de-freaking do, right? Oh, you did it on your own and you've got no one to celebrate with. Who cares if you've done it on your own? And I know I'm a fiercely independent person, but it's okay to get support. It's okay to have community to lean on. It's really important. What's going on with my necklaces right now? I mean, I know it, but doesn't mean I'm doing it. Case in point, I love that you brought that up, Shiloh. We know so many things. You're addicted to learning, but you're allergic to implementing. Stop it. You're addicted to learning, but allergic to implementing. It's time, friend, to stop looking for something new to be the answer and start looking inward to going, what can I do? How can I show up differently? You don't need to be finding new things or this didn't work. What if it's not the thing that didn't work? What if it was this that didn't work? You can actually do the same thing many different times, many different ways. Look at it, bring a different attitude to it, and have different results. You need community and accountability to push you forward, to help you follow through, to help you maintain, and to help you through the changes. Growing pains are hard. You need to simplify. You're making things way too overcomplicated. Oh my God, I love it. Yeah. Stop getting in your own way. You actually overcomplicate things to make it harder to achieve so that you can stay safe behind the scenes longer rather than putting yourself out there and exposing yourself to possible rejection or possible success. What would happen if you doubled your income this year in a recession? Would you feel guilty? Would you feel like you cheated? Would you feel bad? Would you somehow feel like, oh my gosh, are my clients going to be mad at me because I know some of them got laid off? What are these feelings that would come up that you're like, oh, this is the self-sabotage. This is the getting in my own way that Dawn's talking about. If I actually doubled my income this year like I want to, and I say I want to, there's some feelings I need to work through around that where I would stop looking at it as the income that you earn to feel guilty about. Start looking at the people you're helping. Think of if you're able to give people small luxuries, if you're able, I guarantee you, you can make at least $3,000 more a month with the client. If you've got clients already coming in easily without getting out of your own way and giving them opportunities to spend just a little bit more money with you. It's so easy. And this is stuff that I break down for my students and that we talk about. It's so easy. You just have to show up in a different way with a different attitude rather than don't really get out of my head. I love it, Crystal. You really need to start realizing that you have so much opportunity in front of you, like literally laid out in front of you on a platter. Like, here, use this. And you're too scared to feel like you're being pushy. Well, guess what? You don't have to be pushy. When you have the right communication techniques, it doesn't come across pushy. What if you were able to help? What if we framed it this way? You're going to be able to help your clients feel better and feel more confident to move through the shitty time they're going through. Stop looking at it as a way to make more money, because it will. And that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing to make more money. How many of you guys struggle with guilt over making good money? It's not a bad thing to make good money off of giving people more confidence, giving people more security, giving people more the ability to feel better about themselves, giving people like 3 hours with you to just take a break from everything. Stop associating making money with doing something slimy or being a pushy, sleazy salesperson. Money mindsets. So many of you guys are scared to offer, do you want to take any retail? Do you want to do this treatment? Is there an upgrade? Do you want to book? Offering them things that will actually legitimately help them, because you're in this mindset of, oh my gosh, they might think that I'm trying to push something on them. If that's your fear, say it out loud. Hey, I don't want you to think that I'm trying to push something on you. Actually, it's really important to me, and I actually shy away from sharing things that actually help you because I'm nervous that you're going to think I'm trying to be some sleazy, slimy salesperson. And that's the last thing I want to do. I actually really care about you, and I want to tell you about some products, or I want to tell you about this service that I really think would benefit you, but know that ultimately you get to decide. But I know it would be like a little luxurious moment for you that could make you feel really good. Or, hey, I know you're having a really tough time, and I don't want to be telling you what you need or should do, but I know that this treatment makes people feel so relaxed and good. And I know you're really full of stress right now. So I would be doing a disservice to you if I didn't share with you the opportunity to have this appointment with me. Start offering things that you're like, oh, I should offer that, but I don't know. But now I feel weird because I'm asking them to spend more money with them. Stop thinking about the money they're going to spend with you. Start looking at it as, how can I help these people more? How can I help them? Whatever. I want you guys right now to put in the comments, what is the stuff that a lot of clients always talk to you about, that bring up, that have nothing to do with the service you offer? Is it work? Is it relationships? Is it friends? What is the thing that you provide in your environment with your clients? What are the conversations on repeat that happen with you and your clients that come up? Put it in the comments. Because I want to be able to help you guys with this morning. Imagine if this year was the best year that you've ever had financially in your business, because you stopped thinking about the finances and you started focusing on caring for your clients above and beyond in multiple different ways. Okay, Shiloh says, I had someone unsubscribe from my email list with the comment, spammy sales content. Oh, but I also made 3 sales from that same email and realized that one person wasn't my people. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many people are like, well, I don't want to annoy my clients. You'll annoy the ones that are going to be annoyed by it, and the ones that aren't going to be annoyed are going to love it. I sent out an email this morning, some of you guys might have seen, that said, I'm live right now. Is the Recession Talk scaring you? Come join my live. Some people might think that's spammy, but someone who needs to hear that would be okay. Yeah, we need to start. And like, rejection sensitivity is real. Rejection sensitivity is real. It hurts. It stings. And we're hardwired to focus on the negative rather than the positive. And that's why I'm here to help you look at things a little bit different. I want you to start. We need people to help guide us back to the positive, because our brains will just go to survival mechanism of like negative, run away, survive, right? That email got me to watch you. Alita, I love that. I joined because of the email. I joined because of the email. Okay, cool. I mean, here's and then what you can do, I'm going to do very meta for you guys right now. I'm going to ask you guys, would doing an email like that every morning that I go live be something that you would like? Because what I'm thinking of doing is every morning sending that email with the topic that I'm talking about. And then what I could have is just like, if you don't want to get these emails, just click here and I can get people. I got it. And that's why I joined. I love that. Look at that. I sent out an email on Tuesday night and woke up Wednesday morning to 2 people saying they love my emails. But then I'm like, then book the appointments, ladies. And sometimes, having that rapport takes time, right? I like your reminders. Yes. Okay. I love it. And so you can always give people the opportunity. And, I have a whole section inside of Rock Your Business that talks about email marketing that helps you guys out and takes so much stress out of things. But I want you guys to know that people who are going to get annoyed are going to be annoyed. There are people who are like, tell me to stop talking about certain things online. There are going to be clients that like don't want to get that stuff. You might even have Rachel. I don't know if Rachel's here right now. She had a client who always asked to get in last minute. She's like, I can't accommodate last minute. And that client's like, okay, but she still will come to her when she can and refers other people to her. But this client needs last minute. Someone not coming to see you or someone not booking in with you or someone not liking the way you promote doesn't mean that they don't support you in your business. Someone unsubscribing from your email, someone unfollowing you on social media isn't always about you. Honestly, and this is a little bit of tough love with Dawn, being insecure is the most selfish thing you can ever do. Being insecure is the most selfish thing you can ever be because you think that everyone else is thinking about you. You think everyone's things are about you. You think people's actions are about you. And this is a hard one for me to learn and a hard pill for me to swallow because insecure, shy girl, nervous, wanted to make a good impression, worried about getting made fun of, worried about being rejected, worried about all this stuff. And in reality, everyone's acting out from the place. We are the star, the main character of our own freaking show. And so anyone that does something that hurts your feelings, you're like, you made me feel, I chose to feel from your action. Reminder. No one can make you feel a certain way. We only choose how to react and respond to things. But know that that client saying that negative thing is a representation of what's going on in their life. And we need to learn to separate our worth from other people's reactions, perceptions, and things they say and do towards us. You are inherently worthy. I need you to know that right now. You are worthy of the love you crave. You are worthy of the security you crave. You are worthy of the income you crave. You are valuable. You are precious. You are one of a kind. There is no one else in this world like you. You are a rare and precious gem, so valuable and so full of worth. Before you even say anything, do anything, offer anything, you just as you are, in your worst moments, are so worthy of everything that you want, desire, and crave. I want you to know that. And sometimes saying those things, I feel like it's a little bit fluffy, but I need you to remind yourself of this. And I need you to hear it from me because I know you're not hearing it from yourself. I know you're not allowing yourself to believe that you have that worth. And because you're not allowing yourself to believe it, you're going out into the world looking for people to validate the fears you have about yourself. Unconsciously, you are looking for validation of your worst fears. And so when a client says you're too expensive, you're like, they're right, I am too expensive. I knew it. And they just proved it. You keep looking for validation of your worst fears and you're making it happen and come true. What if you started to believe you were worth it? I'm a big deal and I can do hard things. I am worthy of this price. And especially if you've gone through Rock Your Business and you use the calculators and you know that you're charging a fair and reasonable price. When you know it's not just a number you pulled out of the heavens, right? You know that you're charging a fair price. You go, I am worth it. And people are going to pay me this. And so when people go, how much do you charge? Rather than going, oh, it's a bit on the higher end. Go, well, I do things a little bit different than most. And let me tell you a little bit about how I do things differently before I share the price with you so that you can understand. Right? And it's not about justifying. You could also just say, like, I charge $300 for a haircut, whatever. And if people go, oh my God, that's so much. Go, well, I do things a little bit differently. And if you'd want to hear more, let me know. But there's a difference between like, it's pretty bit, it's a lot. And when you go with that got the sweatshirt. I'm the big deal. Yeah, I love it. I love it. And so the energy you put out, and if you have this insecurity deep inside of you and you're trying to get rid of it, I want you to sit and really like do some meditation, sit in calmness, do some affirmations, but doing the actions without trusting and believing it yourself isn't going to get you very far. You need to surround yourself with people who trust and believe and see it in you and remind you of it until you can remind yourself. I am worthy. I am valuable. I make six figures. I have clients that respect me. I attract respectful clientele. Whatever it is that you need from you, or from that you think you need from someone else, you actually need it from you. Whatever you're looking for your clients to validate, you're actually looking from yourself to validate. Whatever worth you're trying to give away, to give people to give back to you, like, I'll come in on my day off. Of course, I'll bend over backwards. There's a difference between offering something above and beyond because you care and you love your clients, and doing it for an exchange of giving me my worth and my value. It's called the unconscious dance, I call it. We get into this dance of like, hey, a client asks to rebook, and you're like, oh, you know what? I'm fully booked that week. And they're like, really? But you're the only one who knows how to do my hair. And in that moment, there's this unconscious dance that you go into. You've told them that you're fully booked. You can't get them in. Or maybe it's, you're not available. And they go, but no one else can do it like you can. And that strokes your ego. Even though logically, there are so many other people out there that are good and talented and could help them with the things that they need. They stroke your ego, and it fills up that cup inside of you that needs that self-worth. It fills it up and it makes you feel good in that moment. And so because they gave you that, you're like, oh, let me look again. And you squeeze them in, or you fit them in, or you come in your time off, because that's the dance, the unconscious dance you've gotten into with your clients. You tell them no, they stroke your ego, you give them what they want as an energy exchange. And then you walk away going, oh, why did I do that? Or the time comes and you're like, oh, I'm so tired. Why did I schedule that in? Because you're not trusting that you have worth beyond going above and beyond for people. You are looking for external validation and someone to, you're like, oh, if I squeeze them in, then they'll tell me, oh my gosh, thank you so much. You're so amazing. And it feels good in that moment, even though you know that you just bought it with giving them something. You just bought that compliment by giving them something, and it sucks. And it's a hard reality to learn. And I'm so sorry to be the bearer of bad news. That worth, that cup that you're trying to fill up with external validation of people telling you how wonderful you are. So you go above and beyond, you bend over backwards, you do all these things, not out of kindness and love, but out of obligation for them to give you back. Have you ever done a favor for someone and they didn't thank you enough? That is a key indicator. When you're like, I went in on my day off and they didn't even tip me. They didn't even give me a big tip. Or I went on my day off and they didn't even tell me thank you. Is that why you did it? If you get frustrated with someone's response to your favor that you did out of the goodness of your heart, it's a key indicator that favor probably wasn't out of the goodness of your heart. It was probably out of a place of wanting an exchange of energy and wanting an exchange. I'll do this for you if you tell me how wonderful I am, because I'm really struggling with my self-worth and self-value, but I don't know how to vote. I don't even know how to admit it to myself. And the thing is the opposite of that is not never giving a client something, is not ever coming in on your day off or not doing something kind. It's a fine line, and only you know if you're doing something because you care. I remember a client of mine being like, I have this event going on and I know you don't do makeup, but like, I love your makeup. And like, would you consider doing my makeup? And I was like, well, let me know the date. And like passed on would have been like, oh my gosh, yes, let's do it. It'll be so fun. And then I would have just like done it and hated it, because it would have been that energy exchange. Tell me I'm wonderful. Tell me I'm worth it. And I said, oh, that sounds really fun. And I would love to do it. Let me know the date. And then I went and I was like, let me think about it overnight and let me get back to you tomorrow. So one of the really good things you can do, I know we've gone off, I know people are joining now, and I've also like kind of gone off the subject here, but one of really good thing you can know is whether or not you are operating out of an obligation for an energy exchange to tell you how worthy you are, or if you're doing it because you care, is to wait at least 24 hours before you commit. And so when a lot of us are people pleasers and we don't know how to respond in the moment, we often respond with a yes in the moment rather than thinking things through. I don't want you to ever commit to a favor from a client immediately. Go, oh, you know what? That sounds like a really cool idea. I can't give you a definite answer right now, but let me think about it and get back to you tomorrow. Who's going to try that? Give me a yes in the comments. So next time a client asks for you to come in on your day off, or do something extra and you like want to do yes because like in that moment you genuinely want to. And that's the thing is like it's not till after the moment that you go, was I doing that from the kindness of my heart or was I doing that for them to give me compliments and tell me how wonderful I am so that I can feel this like wonderful warm cozy feeling for a moment. But the thing is it doesn't last. When you don't build your confidence and your self-worth from the inside out from yourself, when you do it by seeking validation from external sources, it doesn't last. And like I said, the opposite is not going, no, I'm not coming on my day off. No, I don't work that. And the pendulum can swing that way sometimes. The opposite of not being a people pleaser and not having no boundaries is not never doing anything kind and not ever doing something. It's learning, where is it coming from? Where is it coming from? And when you can learn to have that self-worth and that self-confidence, that self-value coming from inside yourself, from the inherent worth that you are worthy of because you are a human being on this planet and there's no one else like you, and you know that you are unique and that you do good service, and even if you have a human moment where you don't do the best service or you need to tweak or fix something, that doesn't take away from from what you charge. It just means you get to adjust it. That was one thing I was always scared of, is if I charge this price, then I'm setting myself to a standard that I can never fail. No, you're always going to fail. If I set my prices as this prices, it means I have an accountability to myself that when I fail, because I will, when I fail, I have an accountability to follow through on it, to follow up with it. You will fail. Stop thinking that the next level is once you don't do this anymore. You will fail. You're human nature. Things fall apart because of human nature all the time because we're human. And you might be preoccupied one day. You might, there's stuff that happens in life. Your best, if you've ever read the 4 Agreements, your best is going to look different every day. When you're sick, your best is going to look one way than when you're healthy. When you've had a good night's sleep, your best is going to look different than when you haven't had a good night's sleep. So I want you to know that. You need to understand that getting to the next level, making 6 figures this year, having your best financial year in a recession year does not require you to not fail anymore. It requires you to have humility and accountability to when you do. Stop thinking, oh, I totally toned that wrong, or oh, I cut that wrong, or how did I do that mistake? I know that. Clearly, I'm not worth it. Clearly, I'm not cut out for this. Who do I think I am to be doing this stuff? Who did I think I was going up and charging that much or putting myself out there like that when this happened? No, that's part of life. That's part of business. How you respond to it, how you follow through with it. Oh my goodness. It looks like your toner took a little bit differently. Hey, I got to let you know, I'm not loving the way this cut is lying. Oh my goodness. I cut this layer is sitting a little bit weird and I'm not loving it and I'm noticing it and it's driving me nuts. I don't have time to fix it right now, but can I get you back in next week? That is what makes you valuable. That is what takes you to the next place. When you can admit and be accountable and have humility about when you are very human. When you can say to your client, I don't want to come across about salesy or pushy. And I'm actually nervous to tell you about this treatment because I don't want this to come this way because obviously it's my business and a service I offer. But you were talking about this and struggling with this with your hair. And I want to tell you about this treatment because I know it'll make you feel a lot better. And especially right now when things are kind of shitty, I want you to feel really good about yourself. Just actually voice the thing you're scared of with your client. Hey, I'm really nervous that you're going to be upset at me because I'm no longer working Saturdays. And I don't want you to be mad because I know you like coming in on Saturdays. But the reason for this is because I need to be able to give better service to my clients. And I'm not able to do that because I'm pushing myself to the limit and I'm getting too exhausted and I need some time off. Share with them the reason of where it's coming from the heart rather than a defensive, well, I don't have to do this. Or no, I'm not coming. That's my time off. Sometimes we get really angry and frustrated because we don't know how to deal with these emotions that are going on within us. But I want you guys to know that you can have your best year yet, ever, this year. It's not too late. And like I said, I'm on a mission to get every hairstylist, service provider, beauty professional, dog groomer earning 6 figures. It is possible. You all deserve it. You deserve it. You are worthy of it and you can have it. And it's not going to be hard. What if the hardest thing you had to do was let yourself make it easy? It requires making things easy, getting out of your own way, and having community and accountability that help you do that. If you guys are on this mission, I want you to link arm in arm virtually with me. Hells yes. Link arm in arm And we're going to red rover the shit out of the service industry together. And we're going to show the world that we are professionals, that we deserve the trust, respect, the loyalty, and authority by first showing up like that. So if you're on this mission with me, just give me a yes in the comments, because I can't do this alone. I need you guys to do it with me. I need us to band together and show up. We need to show up with humility, accountability, and a desire and attitude of adaptability to change. With that, we can make massive waves happen in this industry together. Tracy says yes. Eclipse YXE says yes. Alita says yes. Shiloh says yes. Cheyenne says hells yes. Naturally Unique Salon Inc. says yes. Brianne Lee Renee says yes. Ellen as Expo Salon says yes. I love it. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much for being live here with me today. Jessica says yes. If you want to find more ways to get more inspiration, motivation, education, and tactical, practical tips, go click the link in my bio. I've got lots of amazing things over there. And I want you to know that I have a retreat happening in July. If you're interested, Rock Your Business is going to be opening up for enrollment on the 27th as well. If you're interested in that, just if we haven't connected in real life, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Dawn Bradley Hair. If you're listening to this on the podcast, if you're here live with me right now and you missed some of this, don't worry. You can catch it on the podcast at the Anxious Creative Podcast. Wherever you listen to podcasts, it'll be up, I believe, tomorrow. And you can also go check out my lives on YouTube. These are all recorded over on YouTube. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Don't ever change who you are for anyone. The secret to your success is leaning more into who you are and being more honest about who you are. It's going to happen. And I'm really, really excited. Let's get the whole industry making 6 figures minimum. Love you. Bye. Bye, guys.